Welcome back, viewers. We are going to have a chat with a media personality. He's no stranger to sitting in front of the camera. He's also a talk show host and Calypsonian writer. There's a whole long list, but let me not keep you from knowing who it is. And with me this morning, virtually, is Jumaane Cox, better known as Juby. Juby, good morning, and on the move as usual.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are here. I am happy to be here this morning to, just have a conversation and to update persons on Tobago updates. Yeah.
So Juby, we're not getting to see the T-shirt fully, but I want the viewers to see what you're wearing.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
So this is a more gal for me T-shirt. Of course, it's all about my latest release, which was actually released in Tobago Carnival in October.
Right.
So it's still very much relatively new, a new song in the carnival scene, the global carnival scene. So these are the t-shirts, and this is one, and I felt fitting to wear this morning.
All right. And if we have viewers who want to be a part of that experience and they want to get the T-shirt, how do they get one?
It's easy. You can just follow me, Juby Official, Juby Official on Instagram, and send a DM. And of course, from there we would send you the registration form so you could order your jerseys in advance. We have some other merch coming soon, but yeah, I like how you put it across to be part of the movement because I mean, music is a mission, and my song has a message. And
Right.
I would take the opportunity now to say that Juby cannot handle all them woman, right?
Yes. So
It's
tell us
really
tell us
just
a
the
little
mess.
about the inspiration, and for those who may not have heard it, where they can hear this song, and tell us a little bit about the genesis of it.
All right, so Morgal for me, as I mentioned earlier, I released it in time for Tobago Carnival in October 2024. All right, I felt like normally I would put out music throughout the year, but in 2023, I had a song called Work It, right, which did relatively well.
Right.
Generally, I was proud of the success, and I was like, nah, I need to come back again with something in terms of message, in terms of vibe, and I linked up with Full Blown, which is personal friends of mine, and we formed a relationship so much now that although I would do my writing
Mm-hmm.
and always doing my songwriting and stuff, they in collaboration with me has like found literally a vibe that suits me. So they had a song that they had written some time back with Ronnie J out in Grenada, and it wasn't completed.
Right.
But the climate in Trinidad and Tobago was one where it had a lot of crime taking place, and I felt like even as an artist, as much as I can advocate on my platforms and stuff, I feel like why not do it in a song? And this
Right.
song happened to be right on the pulse of things, and I was like, nah, fellas, are definitely going with this.
Right.
Of course, I added my touch to it, and we completed the production. And yeah, it has been working because as much as we say more gal for me is like me speaking to the fellas who want to rub and shoot and be on all the negativity. Fellas, if you check it out, the ratio is working in the people's favor of
Right.
like literally we who not on that bad vibes. So you could keep that bad vibes and that negative energy over there. But we vibing with the gal right through,
Right.
It's more
Right.
gal for me. So that's basically this song, a nice groovy song with a message.
And how did you get into this art form? What pulled you to it? Is this something you've been doing primary school, secondary school, or are you new to it within recent years?
To be honest, I've been performing since primary school. My dad actually, Lasana, he been in the Calypso fraternity, and he introduced me or encouraged me to take part in like junior competitions and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you mean, because I felt like I always had that in me to entertain people and to communicate with people, whether it be presenting, as
Right.
you know, or it be performing or trying to dance, because I try to dance sometimes, but
Right.
I always trying to entertain people. And growing up, I always like to freestyle. That's why I'm so close to the extempo art form and stuff. I love to freestyle. So I always writing or always putting out lyrics and playing with melodies. And as I grew older, I took part in like Calypso tents and so on. And I would say that was like an institution for me, because at the Calypso tent, people sitting down for
Yes.
most of the time, listening to your delivery, listening to
Yeah.
intonation, listening to what you have to put out, what is the message in your song. So that kind of molded me. And to date, I've been putting out a number of soca releases, more so in carnival season, but I also would do some off-season recordings and put it out from time to time. So I've been, I would say, since primary school. Yeah, since primary school. So it's a few decades where I've
Right.
been in this. But my first recording actually was in 2010.
Right.
Yeah, 2010. I did my first actual recording. I was like, yeah, I like this studio vibe. I like putting out music. I like
Right.
listening
That
back to
that was it
music,
for
hearing it on
you.
radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
And
success in terms of like airplay and stuff really came about in the last, within the last 5 years or so.
right. And as we talk about success, take us through your exposure to the extempo. You mentioned the art form, and I believe you have a
Yeah.
competition today, if I'm not mistaken. So tell us about, your performance, your experience, and of course, you are no stranger to the art form and the competition nationally.
Yeah, so today's actually the National Extempo and Freestyle Competition. I think that's the name of it, 2025, right? Um, as I mentioned, I always like freestyling. So with my friends or my neighbors or whoever the case may be, I always like freestyling on topics. And I tried out the National Extempo pre-pandemic. I can't remember the exact year. And I was like, wait, there's a vibe. Because I always looking on YouTube and seeing like Gypsy and Black
Right.
Sage
Yeah.
and all of these great extempo artists. I was like, they're similar to what I do in freestyling. So let me try it out. I went and never really I think in one year I went and I didn't know the topic, because you're literally pulling a topic on the spot and an extempo one time.
Hmm.
And I didn't know the topic and I bust. And the person who was going against, he literally highlighted that in his version, in his attempt. And I
Right.
was like, nah, I need to work on this. So I continued to work on it over the years, and I've been participating. And they introduced the freestyle, which is more closer to what I am accustomed to. Where they play a rhythm, and same thing, you pull a topic and you basically freestyle some lyrics and some melodies. And
Right.
I took part for the first time in that last year, and I made it all the way to the semifinals. So I'm currently the fourth place winner
Okay.
from 2024.
All
So
right.
I felt like, nah, I need to go back this year and try
Most
to do better than that,
definitely.
even win the competition. So
Right.
tonight is the preliminary round in Port of Spain. So I'll be participating in that. But
Well, of
I love extempo. I love the art form.
and the love and the passion comes across in your body language and your tone, the
Yeah.
excitement, your eyes light up, the smile is there, and we wish you all the best, of course. And let's talk a little bit about your experience with the Ultimate Soca competition, because you auditioned for it, you didn't make it to the finals. But what, being on that stage, what is that like?
Wow. So again, I grew up looking at Soca Monarch on Fantastic Friday. That was a big thing, over the years. And I was like, I'm a performer. What a joy it would be to be on a Soca Monarch stage, right? I actually made the semifinals for the Soca Monarch in 2020 with a song entitled Look Shide. And that time was different to this time, because this is a new competition. So I was happy when they made the announcement to have somewhat of a soca competition, a soca monarch-esque competition. So I was like, I
Right.
definitely threw my hat in the ring. So I went on audition, made it to the semi-final round, rallied my troops, did all I could have done in terms of like putting together presentations, putting together dancers,
Right.
putting together costuming and everything. And we went out there and we enjoyed ourselves. Like I felt, as a matter of fact, I felt like I definitely gonna be inside. It's gonna be
Right.
difficult to not select me for the finals,
Right.
but it didn't work out like that. I definitely enjoyed it. Great reviews, and I felt like in competitions you kind of have to like set your mind to or make up your mind that yes, this is a competition, and you can only do your best. You know,
Right.
it's out of your control in terms of the judging. You would try to hit the all the points. You would try your best to present yourself in such a way where you could actually move on to the next round. And unfortunately, it didn't happen this time. But I felt like it was a real good experience in terms of sharpening up my blade,
Mm-hmm.
working on my vocal performance, working on some of my movements, my delivery, crowd engagement. So it worked. I saw the positives in it. Um, it's just that I didn't move on to the final 10, but I
Right.
was in the top 20 based on those who would have auditioned in the initial stage.
Right.
But I'll take the opportunity to wish Verse
Yes.
the best because the finals is actually on this Thursday versus in the youth category. I participated in the senior. Well, I don't know if they classify it as senior, but the open, so the
Right.
ultimate soccer competition champion. Whereas versus in the youth competition, but versus a force to be reckoned with, and I would take the opportunity to plug him and wish him all the best on Tuesday because he is officially in the youth category finals. So
Most
yeah,
definitely. I like your perspective in terms of your approach. You saw the opportunity and you understand the advantage to you in honing your craft and having that opportunity to be a better you, so to speak, with your craft. What advice would you give to the younger ones coming up who may enter one or two competitions, didn't make it, and they kind of lose the enthusiasm for the craft?
yeah, that is to tell you the truth, it like I mean I could give advice, but it's a case by case basis and it's based on what you set out.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I knew that competitions like these, one, would provide a platform in terms of exposure. People naturally gravitate to competitions. I'm talking about audience. And they might join in to see what's happening. They might join in to laugh. They might join in to support another competitor. But there's eyes and ears that you may not have had access to before. So I feel like so that was my goal. And of course I wanted to win the competition.
Right.
But I think if you set a goal in your mind and you really work towards your goal, yes, you would experience disappointment if you don't necessarily hit the nail on the head in terms of what you set out. But there's always some kind of positive. They actually asked me a question post performance. Now I was on a higher because I enjoyed my performance. I felt like, yeah,
Right.
Juby, you do this thing.
Yeah.
And as I came off stage, an interviewer was like, they asked me a series of questions, and one was, do you see the glass half full or half empty? That was just a broad question. It wasn't related to the competition. But my response was immediately, I always see it as glass half full, because you're counting your small wins, it may not necessarily be what you set out, as I say, in terms of you might not hit the target. But I would encourage each and every young artist or performer or creative listening to celebrate your small wins. Human nature, you'll be disappointed. And I'm not going to act like if I wasn't disappointed. I told
Right.
feelings in local balance.
Right.
But you could count your small wins and see where you could improve and just use whatever disappointment to just fuel that energy and channel it elsewhere in terms of like improving or probably producing a new song or probably enhancing your performance when you at your next private gig. So there's always positive that they could take away from these disappointments, but that's is a case by case basis, of course.
Right. And of course, as we wrap up this conversation, let our viewers know where they can find your latest release, what social media platforms, and again, how to get any of the merch that you have coming out.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for supporting me over the years, particularly over the last few months. I've seen like a serious increase in terms of like people actually tapping into the Juby's music and Juby's vibe. Juby official on all social media platforms. That's JUBY official. Of course, the music is available. You're all doing really good. We have like about 50,000 plus views on YouTube. So Keep on running up the numbers, share to your friends, share to your family, share the vibe. You know, Juby more gal for me, Moregyal. That's how we spell the gal.
Mm-hmm.
For me, well, normal spelling, and of course, you can pay attention to my social media platform. The season has been busy for me, so I'm sure if you're interested in going to events, you would see me at least at one of your favorite events. So just pay attention to my social media page, Juby Official, and yeah, thanks for the support and thanks for the vibe. Skibby doo bang bang.
Oh, I was hoping you ended with that, Juby, and that was Jumaane Juby Cox. And of course, we thank you for your time. All the best at the extempo competition today, and just keep, representing Tobago, shining and doing what you do best. All right, viewers, that's all the
Take
time
care.
we have with Juby this morning. We go to a quick break, and when we return, we will be having a conversation with Mr. Barry Jofield. I'm sure that's a name you know. So stay tuned.